Aguirre, The Wrath of God, is the first Werner Herzog film I've seen, and boy is it a good one. This was the first of Herzog's many collaborations with volatile actor Klaus Kinski, and follows a Spanish expedition to find the lost city of El Dorado in the jungles of South America. After the expedition splits up to cover more ground, Aguirre, Kinski, schemes to lead his party and claim the glory and wealth for himself. Aguirre takes about 20 minutes of slight dawdling to get going, but when it shifts into gear, the film becomes a mesmerizing, haunting portrait of a megalomaniacal warrior fighting against the elements and manipulating his fellow men to chase a hopeless dream. Kinski is remarkable as Aguirre, playing him as a ruthless lunatic who still possesses immense courage and powers of manipulation. It may seem that Aguirre has relatively little screen time, but his presence permeates the entire film through the people he corrupts. When Aguirre's party, led by Ursua, decides to return to the main group, Aguirre, determined to find El Dorado, mutinies by having Ursua shot and wounded and installing Guzman as a puppet leader, declaring him the first emperor of El Dorado. Guzman is initially uncomfortable with the title thrust upon him and saddened by the rebellion against Spain he has been forced into. Ironically, Guzman's decision to grant Ursua clemency in the show trial Aguirre pressured him into, rather than death by hanging, which is what Aguirre wanted for Ursua, leads Guzman to believe, and therefore exploit, the delusions of power given to him. We later see Guzman further adopt Aguirre's lies, greedily studying the land he foolishly thinks he owns, and feasting on fish and fruit while the rest of his men starve. It's left ambiguous who ultimately murders Guzman, but you know that it was all according to Aguirre's devious plan, as he becomes emperor in Guzman's place. At first, the monk Carvajal begrudgingly accepts Aguirre's acts of treachery, admitting with resignation that the church has always favored the strong, but soon takes to the role of Guzman's prime minister with diligence, again reaping the power he thinks it will bring, and is aggressively zealous in his attempts to spread Christianity to the natives. These are good people tainted and manipulated by the cunning Aguirre, meaning that this man's influence hangs over the group like a toxic shroud even when he's not on screen. As with There Will Be Blood, Aguirre, The Wrath of God, portrays an insane man claiming power at the cost of those around him, and this is deeply compelling because of his horrible ambition and determination, and the added tragic element of their hopeless situation. Aguirre inherits a kingdom that is nothing more than a band of weary, hungry men adrift in inhospitable jungle, and El Dorado, the city of gold he relentlessly seeks, may just be a myth. The film presents a grim but entrancing juxtaposition of Aguirre's greedy flame burning brighter while everything goes to hell around him. Aguirre pursues the hollow dream of El Dorado right to the end, which has one of the best monologues I've ever seen in a film. Aguirre, The Wrath of God, is the surreal, incredibly engaging journey of a megalomaniac chasing a dream to oblivion, and is an outstanding character study not only for the anti-hero at its core, but also the vivid setting he reacts to and the other characters he corrupts. The cinematography is beautiful, the costuming and period detail are very authentic, although having Spanish characters speak in German might throw you off a bit, and the grandiose yet somber theme by Popol Vuh is a perfect complement to Aguirre himself. It's a credit to Herzog's skill that none of the film was storyboarded, and a sizable part of it was improvised, and yet it still feels very cohesive, unlike Mulholland Drive. Aguirre is also a prime example of a film that is slow and often low-key, but still utterly gripping. I have a couple of minor problems with the film. As I mentioned in the start, the opening drags a bit and takes a while to get going. I also would have liked to see more of Aguirre's relationship with his daughter, which feels largely unexplored. Otherwise, Aguirre, The Wrath of God, is a truly great film that I really enjoyed, and earns 4 3/4 stars out of 5. Thanks for watching. Cheers.